Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Black bloc. A black bloc is a name given to groups of protesters who wear black clothing, scarves, sunglasses, ski masks, motorcycle helmets with padding, or other face-concealing and face-protecting items. The clothing is used to conceal marchers' identities and hinder criminal prosecution, by making it difficult to distinguish between participants. It is also used to protect their faces and eyes from items, such as pepper spray, which law enforcement often uses. The tactic allows the group to appear as one large unified mass. Black bloc participants are often associated with anarchism. The tactic was developed in the 1980s in the European autonomist movement's protests against squatter evictions, nuclear power and restrictions on abortion, as well as other influences. Black blocs gained broader media attention outside Europe during the 1999 Seattle WTO protests, when a black bloc damaged property of Gap, Starbucks, Old Navy, and other multinational retail locations in downtown Seattle. West German origin. This tactic was developed in response to increased use of police force following the 1977 Brockdorf demonstration. On 1 May 1987, demonstrators in Berlin-Kreuzberg were confronted by West German police. After this, thousands of people attacked the police with rocks, bottles and Molotov cocktails. The riots at the May Day in Kreuzberg became famous after the police had to completely pull out of the So-36 neighborhood in Kreuzberg for several hours, and rioters looted shops together with residents. When Ronald Reagan came to Berlin in June 1987, he was met by around 50,000 demonstrators protesting against his Cold War policies. This included a black bloc of 3,000 people. In November 1987, the residents were joined by thousands of other protesters and fortified their squat, built barricades in the streets, and defended themselves against the police for nearly 24 hours. After this, the city authorities legalized the squatters' residence. On 1 May 1988, radical left groups organized a May Day demonstration through Berlin-Kreuzberg, ending in riots even heavier than the year before. The police were attacked with steel balls fired by slingshots, stones, fireworks and Molotov cocktails. On the 2nd of May, headline of the Berlin newspaper BZ was, Beirut. 9. Das ist Berlin. The riots finally became a tradition in Berlin-Kreuzberg and have recurred every 1 May since, but never as fatally as in the first 2 years. When the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund met in Berlin in 1988, the Autonomen hosted an international gathering of anti-capitalist activists. Numbering around 80,000, the protesters greatly outnumbered the police. Officials tried to maintain control by banning all demonstrations and attacking public assemblies. Nevertheless, there were riots and upmarket shopping areas were destroyed. 21st century. In the period after the Berlin Wall, the German Black Bloc movement continued traditional riots such as May Day in Berlin-Kreuzberg, but with decreasing intensity. Their main focus became the struggle against the recurring popularity of neo-Nazism in Germany. The turn came in June 2007, during the 33rd G8 summit. A black bloc of 2,000 people built barricades, set cars alight and attacked the police. During a mass demonstration in Rostock, 400 police officers were injured, and also about 500 demonstrators and activists. According to the German Verfassungsschutz, the weeks of organization before the demonstration and the riots themselves were amounted to a revival for the militant left in Germany. Since the Battle of Rostock, traditional May Day riots, after demonstrations every 1 May in Berlin, and since 2008 also in Hamburg, became more intense, and violence of the Autonomen against police officers and political enemies at demonstrations of radical left groups have dramatically increased. On the day of President Donald Trump's inauguration, black bloc groups were present among other protests in Washington, D.C. and other places. The groups engaged in vandalism, rioting, and violence. At least 217 were arrested, and 6 police officers sustained minor injuries, and at least 1 other person was injured. In February 2017, an event at the University of California, Berkeley, by commentator Milo Yiannopoulos was cancelled by college administrators after protesters of a black bloc broke windows, shot fireworks, and caused a light fixture to catch fire. The cancellation of the event brought mainstream attention to anarchism and black bloc tactics, and led to a larger conversation about the role of violence in protest movements. North America. The first recorded use of the tactic in the United States of America occurred at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. on 17 October 1988. Over 1,000 demonstrators, a small number consisting of a black bloc, called for the end to U.S. support for the right-wing death squads in El Salvador. A black bloc caused damage to property of Gap, Starbucks, Old Navy, and other retail locations in downtown Seattle. During the 1999 anti-WTO demonstrations, they were a common feature of subsequent anti-globalization protests. A black bloc element, along with other protesters, marched from the National Mall in Washington, D.C. towards the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia on March 21, 2009, as part of the Iraq War protest. In the next year, during the 2010 G20 summit in Toronto, a black bloc riot damaged a number of retail locations including an Urban Outfitters, American Apparel, Adidas store, Starbucks and many banking establishments. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.